Hi, Meenu.
Hi Neetu, how are you?
I'm great, thanks. How are you doing?
I'm
So
doing
nice to see
good.
you. It's
Yeah,
been a while, since we've seen each other. When did we last see each other? I'm trying to remember.
I don't
Was it
even
last?
remember that.
Yeah, yeah. It's been ages.
Yeah,
So were you on the Was your subs? Because I see this is your first session here, so I'm
right,
confused.
right. Actually, I am a YouTuber.
Yeah. Yes. 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 Yes.
But
It's so nice to see you, Meenu. How are
yeah,
you
yeah.
doing?
So good to see you again. I'm doing
Yeah.
great. Tell me about yourself. How are you
Oh,
doing?
I'm doing well as well. It's been a year, so many things have happened. I can't remember now what's happened. I've become old, I think. But yeah.
Okay, okay.
But how's
So,
things with you? How's this? How's your YouTube journey going? How's your language journey going? How's everything going for you in general? You tell
yeah,
me.
it's going so well. And I am, my channel has 41K subscribers now. And I'm helping people learn spoken English. And, I'm getting a
Excellent.
lot of appreciation and love from my viewers. So,
Good for
really
you.
enjoying this journey. And
Good for
tell
you.
me about yourself. Something new.
You
Yeah.
Something new. Well, I relocated. I was I was in my hometown in Kerala, but now we've actually relocated to my husband's hometown. And we've started living on our own, which is great. But at the same time, a lot of work. My twins, they are four, and they've started school here. So that was the reason. That was a prime reason as to why we had to put down our roots here. And yeah, and I've done a couple of dance shows in between. I've emceed for an event at my children's school. So yeah, so sort of like having my finger in a lot of pies at this point. Yeah,
Okay, that's
so
great.
it's been going great. Yeah, yeah. Touch wood, yeah, things are good. Pretty hectic as opposed to when I was in my hometown. To be fair, there I had my parents to handle stuff, but here, yeah, it's like a one-man show, or rather a two-man show, because the husband's involved as well. I have to give him some credit, otherwise he's not going to be happy. But
Okay.
yeah, in the grand scheme of things, I can't complain. Feeling blessed. Yes.
Oh, wow. So you were in Kerala earlier, and now your husband's hometown, where is
No,
it?
no, no, no. We're still in Kerala. We're still
Oh,
in Kerala. But
okay,
we've
okay.
moved from one district to another. So his hometown's about a couple of hours away, 3 hours to be specific, from where I am. So we'll start off with that. So now we have, you can open up your chat box, and I think whatever I type in the chat box, either take a screenshot of it, Meenu, or note it down. It's your call. So what I was going to tell you is we have put down roots. We have put down roots in Ernakulam
Okay.
or in Cochin. And Cochin is what I think everyone's familiar with as opposed to Ernakulam. So to put down roots is an idiom, which means to settle down in a place. So settle down is the phrasal verb equivalent of an idiom. So I think, would you know, you must be knowing what phrasal verbs are?
Right, right. I do.
So a phrasal verb is, of course, I think, just a quick recap of a combination of a verb and a preposition or an adverb. So in this case, settle is the verb, down is the preposition, verb plus preposition, voila, phrasal verb. So the equivalent, or the idiom equivalent rather, would be put down roots. So we have put down roots in Ernakulam. So
Okay. So
yeah.
are you still missing your old home, or you
Yes,
are, loving it?
yeah, because I mean, initially, yes, initially I was really homesick, and I was like, oh my god, when your parents are there, you always sit and find fault with them, or you're like, oh god, I just want to leave this place, I want to settle down, I want to do my own thing. But once you're away from there, you feel the sense of emptiness, and you feel that you're lost.
Right.
But now I think we're fine. Now I think, touch wood, we're okay. We can't really complain. Meenu, if God's been kind to us, and I think it's time that we started doing things on our own. Yeah, because eventually I think that was inevitable. You have to do things on your own. So
Correct, correct. You have to be
yeah,
independent at some point in your life.
at
Yeah.
some point, absolutely.
So
And
are
I
you,
think
yeah,
what better time than now? Yes, you want to say something?
yeah. So your children are happy here, or they are
Yes,
missing
yes.
them?
No, 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 no. I think kids are also very resilient. No, they on occasion when we get angry with them, or when we tell them off. So to tell someone off again is a phrasal verb. So to tell someone off means to scold or to
Okay.
reprimand. So reprimand is the equivalent of scolding. So that's, sorry, scold spelling was wrong there. I apologize.
Mhm.
Reprimand. So when we reprimand them or we scold them, we tell them off, so then they maybe say, "Do you want to go see our grandparents?" And that's the only time.
Yeah, they
What
were
about
their
our grand-
saviors, They were their
Yes,
saviors.
yes.
Okay.
Yeah, they're very smart. They're very, very smart. They're just four, but you should hear the way they talk. It's like I can't believe that they're four. They speak like 40-year-olds at times. So
Oh my God.
yeah. So you have to
So
be very careful about what we say around them as well, because they easily catch things. Yeah. So yeah,
Correct.
extremely. Yeah.
So did their grandparents used to spoil them?
They still spoil them. It's not just did, they still do.
Oh, they still
Yeah, so
do.
even when they call, and then they'll sit and complain about me, as in my kids, and then immediately my parents, they tend to find the fault with me. They never find fault with the kids. They say, oh, why can't you do this? Why can't you do that? You were terrible as a child, and we have had to put up with so much from you. And I said, well, that was when I was a child, so I don't want my kids to repeat the same mistake that I made, right? So that's important as well, isn't it?
But
So yeah.
yeah, everyone learns through their mistakes. They have to commit those mistakes again. That is the problem.
True.
Yeah.
So we have to repeat the cycle. There are times when I do think sometimes, Meenu, am I a good enough parent? I sometimes wonder that. Yeah.
I used to do
But
that. Yeah.
oh, really? Okay. How old are your children, if I may ask?
Actually, my daughter is 21 years old. Daughter is 21 and my son is 18. So when they were, a little younger than this, like she was 10 and he was 7, I always had some self-doubt that am I treating them equally? Am I giving equal love to both of them? Am I giving
Right.
more candies and more chocolates to this one or that one? I used to compare everything, that I have to be a, good parent, and I don't want to ever be partial. Yeah.
Got it. Yeah. What do your children do?
My daughter is studying psychology. She's doing MA psychology. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
And your son?
My son has just finished class 12 and he has taken admission in BBA, Bachelor of Business Administration. Yeah. So he's in first exam.
Where are you from, Meenu?
I was born and raised in Delhi.
Okay.
Yeah.
But are you currently in Delhi, or?
I'm currently living in Noida.
Noida. Okay. How long have you been living in Noida?
It's been 11 years.
Okay. So prior to this, you were in Delhi, though?
Yeah. My mother's place is in Delhi. I got married. That was also in, my in-laws' place was also in Delhi. So we shifted here just 10 years ago. So that is just 13 kilometers away from my house. So I can still go to my mother's place in just 30 minutes.
Oh, right. That's great.
Yeah.
How do you like your place here now that you've settled down here for about 10, 11 years now? Do you find any distinct differences between your lifestyle in Delhi and your lifestyle in Noida?
See, there are some differences, but at that time I was completely against it. I never wanted to, shift to Noida. I was saying that I was born and raised in Delhi and I wanted to live in Delhi all my life. But due to my husband's job, he used to work in Noida. So he had to travel a lot. So, the traveling time was too much. So we had to shift here. Initially, I was reluctant, but after a while, now I'm loving it so much that I want to live here. And because, shifting and packing and relocating again and again is very difficult. Very difficult.
Oh my God, tell me about it. Yeah. We had help here.
It's the most difficult task,
Absolutely. No, when we also relocated from Kollam, which is my hometown, to Cochin, which is where my husband's place is, it was just clothes. I mean, we had to buy furniture and all of that from scratch. But to set everything up, and especially with 2 little kids and everything, oh my God, I was like, oh God, I can't do this anymore. I never want to shift again for the rest of my life. I just want to say
that is what I tell my husband, that even if I love a house in a new place, how much ever I love it, I can't do that shifting things again.
Yeah.
That shifting, that scares me now.
Yeah, it's such a pain. Yeah. I completely agree with you. Yeah.
But the difference is that this place is very, very peaceful and very, very green. So I am loving it now. When I go to my mother's place, now I feel where I spent my childhood, now I feel when I, stand in the, balcony, then I feel that this place is so noisy. I used to live there. Now I feel it's so noisy. Yeah.
But awesome. Okay, very nice. So, Meenu, why don't we do one thing? Why don't we do a small, I actually was planning to do a small, an activity with you. I mean, I didn't realize it was you, to be honest, but since it's you, why don't we do something a little interesting? Because, you've clearly, reached so far in your English game. And if I was to do a grammatical test or a phrasal work test with it, it'll be like an insult to your intelligence. And I don't want to do that. So why don't we up the game a bit? Okay, we'll up the game, and what we'll do is we'll, you must have heard of the IELTS examination. The world's largest language proficiency test is the IELTS. I think you've already heard of the IELTS, or IELTS as it's popularly called with the new generation. One of the sections in the IELTS examination is the speaking test. So during the speaking test, I mean, I'm not sure if you know of the format. There are 3 parts to the speaking test. So in the first part, for about 4 to 5 minutes, the examiner sort of sets the tone. Okay, sets the tone is an idiom. Okay, which means to make it clear as to what to expect, and also puts the candidate or the student in a comfort zone by asking a few basic, questions for about 4 to 5 minutes. They're very simple questions, very ordinary questions.
Mm-hmm.
Then the second section gets a little tricky, and the third section is the trickiest. Okay. So in the second section is what we're going to be doing today. The second section, what happens is the examiner gives you a topic and either 3 or 4 sub questions.
Okay.
3 or 4 sub questions. The examiner gives you a minute. During that 1 minute, you can, and also a pen and a paper will be provided. Jot down your thoughts in that 1 minute of what you are going to say about these questions. And then after minutes, the examiner, in this case me, is going to say time's up. And then you'll be expected to answer the questions.
Okay.
Now, you have to answer the questions. I am not going to tell you, oh, by the way, Meenu, you forgot this question. Meenu, are you sure you answered that question now? I'm going to give you a minute to speak. If I am liberal or if I am in the mood, I'm going to increase it to 2 minutes. But that totally depends on me. Yeah. Okay. 1 minute to prepare and write down the main points. 1 minute will be given for you to speak. But if I want and if I find your answers interesting, or if I'm waiting for you to trip up. So to trip up, again, is a phrasal verb, which means to make a mistake. So if I'm waiting for you to trip up, I'll give you an extra minute. That totally depends on me. But then I'm going to cut you off at the exact second minute, even if you're halfway through a conversation, midway through a conversation, I'm going to cut you off. And then I will give you the feedback on what you spoke.
Okay.
Are we clear? So just bear with me because I have to copy paste. You're not going to see my video for a second probably, but there we are. So just for your information, I think it's pretty evident what I have written. The hyphens indicate each question. I'm not going to read out the question for you all over again. That's up to you to read and decipher or understand what has been mentioned there. All right. And what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to set my timer on my phone. So just bear with me. So your time to prepare starts now. All done?
Yeah.
Okay, and your time's up also, Meenu. So you're bang on time. Now I'm going to reset the timer once again for you, so you can start talking now.
Okay. So there was a trip that I would like to talk about. We were actually going to Goa. So this was about Goa only. We went there by flight. And I was with my brother's family and my sister's family and my family. So there were, 12 of us. So their 2 kids and my 2 kids, and in all we were 12. So we all went to Goa. We had taken a very good hotel. That was a 5-star hotel. But all the ladies and kids, we all wanted to do sightseeing properly. But these men, they just wanted to relax in a good hotel, and they just wanted to, drink and have snacks and all those things. They just kept doing that. I mean, we didn't do sightseeing much, and we missed all the good places. We couldn't visit all the places, and we just saw a few beaches. For 2 days, we didn't do anything. So that is what I didn't like, because we had spent so much money to be there, but we didn't enjoy that much because we stayed in the hotel most of the time. So I think what we could have done differently was to, if we had booked that vacation properly from a travel agent, then these men couldn't have done anything. And, our trip would have been planned in advance. And so then it could have been different. But there we were relying on these men to take us wherever we wanted to go. So that is what I feel. Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. Thank you very much. You finished within the 1.5 minute mark, which is fantastic. And your story was so interesting. I actually wanted to cut you over 1 minute. It was so interesting because I wanted to know what you were going to say after this. So that's why I didn't feel like cutting you off. So that was great. Good job, Meenu. So now let us go back a second to see if you have answered all the questions that I asked you to answer.
Okay.
Where you were going, how you were traveling, who you were with, what went wrong. You've answered all of this. Then you came to explain what you would have done differently. But one thing, Meenu, is you gave a recommendation of a travel agent. Let me ask you something. Why did you have to rely on the men? You could have booked an Uber, or you could have taken an auto rickshaw, or hired a cab or something to go on your own. Why did you have to rely on the men to take you to all these places? Is it because of the safety aspect of things, or?
We did that. We wanted to go to a casino at night. So there we wanted to go with them.
Yeah.
We went to some places alone without the men. But for the casino we needed them. And to a disc also we wanted to go.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, for all of that, it's ideal to have the men along just for the safety aspect of things. I get it. Okay. Now, in hindsight, there's something called foresight. You look a little confused. Let me explain. Foresight, which is the opposite of hindsight. So, foresight means to think forward before doing something.
Mm-hmm.
So, if I was to apply some foresight, that means before embarking on your journey or embarking on your destination, you are going to first go through a travel agent. So, I am thinking in advance. Foresight means to think in advance. Hindsight means learning from your mistakes
Right, right.
or learning after the facts.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Learning after the fact or learning from your mistakes or a lesson learned is what you call a hindsight.
Okay.
So, in hindsight is a standard expression. Again, if you remember this expression, you're not going to make a mistake. So, in hindsight, always remember the preposition for hindsight is always it, nothing else.